This is Edward, casting live on justin.tv/EdwardStarcraft, where we watch epic games and talk about Twilight Councils, not Twilight. We're watching this game here between DrKobra challenging the King of the Hill, ExoticShrimp, who just won with a 6 pool. Should be interesting. I haven't seen ExoticShrimp really play because the 6 pool, I mean, anyone really can execute, and it is very powerful and dangerous. You see it a lot in the bronze leagues, but I mean, you also see it a lot in the GSL. Hey, I mean, they're powerful, they're simple to execute, they throw your opponent off. I mean, that's the nice thing about StarCraft. It's a very flexible game. You can do whatever compared to, let's say, I guess Age of Empires, right? Like, you know, humans are so slow, things move so slowly, you can build units so quickly. Age of Empires is really like a defender's game, but whatever. Anyways, let's talk about this game. We're casting this for Karma Starcraft. Karma Starcraft is a Starcraft clan composed of readers of Reddit. A lot of the members come from the Reddit Starcraft community, which is one of the largest Starcraft communities. One of the largest Starcraft communities in the North American region. That should be interesting. So ExoticShrimp, yeah, he just won with that 6 pool. Good for him. Let's see his macro play today, because it looks like he's going to be building a hatchery over here. Yes, going to go for a 14 hatchery. Hey, this is like the opposite of his 6 pool. Cool. At the same time, DrKobra actually likes to, you know, make YouTube casts of his games on this King of the Hill after he plays them, to analyze like why he won, why he lost, that sort of thing, to analyze his decision making, to help, you know, newer players play this game. And so I encourage you guys to check out his YouTube channel. I'm not exactly sure what it is right now, but I'm sure someone will be able to post it up into the chat, or I could just look it up while there's not as much stuff happening here. Let's see. Let me find his YouTube channel. Reddit is sometimes really slow, and it's slow today. But okay, his YouTube channel is called KobraCast, K-O-B-R-A Casts. So youtube.com/KobraCasts. Anyways, take a look at how these two players are opening here. Yeah, youtube.com. You don't actually need that /user portion. Just go to youtube.com/KobraCast, and that works pretty well. Let's see, okay. Both players doing something interesting. Cool stuff. DrKobra making sure he doesn't get supply blocked. Great stuff. I think that's just perfect. You know, let's see this one thing. Just need to check one thing down here. 1 second. Okay, cool. Anyways, DrKobra building a standard army. The standard, you know, starting Protoss army. 1 Zealot, 1 Stalker, 1 Sentry. It's a very dangerous combination over here. Very dangerous combination. You know, your Sentry can force heal the ramp. Your Stalker can kill a lot of stuff at range, chase stuff at range. And your Zealot can just tank and do a lot of damage. Good army. So people in the chat are talking about Banshees versus Vikings against Colossi. I believe Vikings are cheaper, they have more health, and they have more range. And they do no, they don't do as much damage, but I think they have more range. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the most important part is the range, because if you have Banshees don't have too much range. You have to attack from right next to the Colossus. It leaves you very vulnerable to getting sniped. While if you have Vikings, they can safely you know, lay right on top of your Marines, right on top of your Marauders, so that it's harder for Stalkers to get at them without getting shot at by Marines, by Marauders. Now let's take a look at ExoticShrimp right now. He's still on his hatchery technology. He's getting a few spine crawlers, but you know, he's just doing the standard Zerg. Let's drone up, let's macro it up, let's try to get an economy advantage over our opponent. If he's trying to do that, I would say he's doing a relatively poor job at it, because he's currently 4 harvesters behind his opponent, ExoticShrimp. He's getting a nice round over here, and it looks like DrKobra going to be losing a few early units. This is not going to be good for DrKobra without too much of an army. Also, he's going to probably have to cancel this this Nexus. Actually, not canceling this Nexus. Now both players equal and even in units lost. It's very hard to micro Zerglings at times because, you know, you don't know if you should engage or not, and in that split second, just, you know, you can lose several Zerglings so quickly. I mean, it seems like, you know, you can always say, oh, you should have micro those better, but, you know, really, at times, it's hard to micro things as he loses. And so, I mean, here's one of the advantages of the Zerglings. They're so fast. They can chase anything. It looks like they're just going to try to surround, do some damage to these units. The Sentry could actually do some nice force fields, and there's a nice force field. Looks like the Zerglings will be able to take down. Oh, dude, ExoticShrimp, decide on one target, because now, like, he didn't do any damage here. He could have either killed this Nexus. He could have killed it, I think, or almost killed it and then killed it on a follow-up wave. He could have killed most of this army, but he tried to attack both and ended up doing no damage to either. Well, little damage to either. Because a Nexus that has half health is still a Nexus. A Nexus with 1 HP left is still a Nexus. A Stalker with, you know, 80 HP left, or even, yeah, 12 HP left, can regenerate the shield so much. So now I think those the bad attacking, ExoticShrimp trying to put on some pressure on his opponents. I don't think he did it the right way, and definitely making Zerglings at the early start of the game. Each one of those Zerglings could be a drone, so divide this into 2. I mean, each 2 Zerglings could be a drone. Divide this into 2, and you can see that's a lot of drones that he's missing. And yes, now DrKobra with 43 harvesters and ExoticShrimp with 27. This is not going to be good for ExoticShrimp. He likes his early pressure builds, huh? So it looks like some Muteless getting spawned by ExoticShrimp, going to do some harassment to the mineral line of DrKobra. Let's take a look. DrKobra currently with 49 harvesters, ending with 47 harvesters, and some lost mining time. Not a bad trade. Like, I don't think that was like that bad on DrKobra's part. I mean, this is definitely natural, but ooh, losing some more, and now going to 31 harvesters, losing quite a bit of harvesters here, because at the other side, there's some Zerglings coming in. I think they might have done some damage on this other side, chasing them out. But now, wow, even income for both of the players, and this shows you the power of harassments. Because these Zerglings did a lot of damage. The Muteless doing a lot of damage as well. And now again, getting back into the mineral line. DrKobra not learning here. How many harvesters? He's back down to 30. And the army value relatively even. I mean, ExoticShrimp definitely behind by slightly on his army value, but he's going to be catching up in drone count, I believe, soon. Not really. He's not building that many more drones. So, ExoticShrimp trying to keep on the harassment pressure. Some Zerglings coming in through the front again, and it looks like DrKobra was saying, screw this, I lost so many harvesters, but I probably have a bigger army than this guy, because, you know, DrKobra, right, he has these Stalkers, he has these Sentries. They do very well against Muteless in head-to-head combat. They do very well against Muteless. And so now, I mean, DrKobra, with his larger army value, he's going to force ExoticShrimp to pull all of his army to defend, you know, including his Muteless. And in a head-to-head confrontation, I don't think ExoticShrimp could really hold this in. ExoticShrimp not making the right decisions. He should be building, I mean, using his Zerglings, using his, he had spine crawlers, then he should be engaging over here. So he's using all of this stuff. He's, you know, he lost some Zerglings at the same time as he is losing his spine crawlers. He should be trying to get all of them to attack at the same time. Looks like this all-in from DrKobra. I mean, he's using these force fields as best as he can. He should have done some Guardian Shields to protect from the Spine Crawlers, to protect from the Zerglings. Army value for ExoticShrimp is now down to 150, and very low compared to this 1250 for DrKobra. But you know what? I think ExoticShrimp should be able to hold it. He still has more Zerglings coming in. He can pull some drones to even take care of this. Of course, he doesn't know how many drones DrKobra pulled, but that was a lot of units that he pulled. But ExoticShrimp, yeah, not quite the best defense. I mean, he has so much money. Get some roaches, even put down some spine crawlers over here, and just fall back and defend. Because you know what? How many harvesters does his opponent have? He has 6. DrKobra has 6 harvesters. Now taking a lot of these overlords. Move these overlords back. This is when your APM is important, and you can see, wow, ExoticShrimp at 150 APM currently, just trying to you know, do all the actions to build these Zerglings. 14 Zerglings on their way. But this force field, nice force field on the part of DrKobra, a bit preemptive. Going to make these Zerglings need to be attacking. And again, cutting off potential reinforcements. These Zerglings trying to do as much